YouTube, you don't know this for a very long time. You won't be seeing this for a very long time, but we're about to light the first gen world on fire. Alright guys, so we have got the truck strapped down, if this thing will focus. Alright, got the truck strapped down. I am now, I had to do some things with it beforehand, come on, to basically just get everything ready. I put some plugs in, certain MPT plugs in the charge pipes and stuff, so because I don't have the nitrous hooked up, and I put the boost checker on it and verified everything was good and everything was fitting well. I put pressure to the regulator for the wastegate to verify it was all the way open, so it's going to blow the gate or keep the gate shut. Right now I'm kind of working on scaling and getting the sensor in the right position for the wastegate or the dome pressure. Basically just have to make sure my inputs are right, and then I have to scale this because it's only got 2 in here right now. I'm going to scale it a little bit better. My RPM still does not work. I had to flip the deal around 180 degrees, and now it is in the right position, so I just need to repin it in the AEM, which if I do that, I'm going to repin some other stuff. But I should be able to tell the difference in the log and the horsepower on if this gate's going to work or not. Basically, this first baseline, I am doing nothing. I have changed nothing besides there's a wastegate on the truck, and it's still completely shut. The goal is to make sure that drive pressure does not overcome the spring pressure and the boost pressure that is regulated to the top of it down low, and it gets doggy. That's basically what I'm confirming. I don't want it to lose low end power because it's not able to hold the gate shut. So if that's the case, I'm going to have to find other means of doing that, which usually around here we do it with nitrous pressure, or regulated 150 psi nitrous pressure, or I can also use CO2. So that's kind of we're learning tonight. I'm not sure we're going to pick up any power. I haven't released this dyno video yet, but like I said, last session it did 715, did like 4 pulls over 700. So we're gonna see if we lose anything down here. In a perfect world, I would love to be able to lose about 10 to 15 pounds of drive pressure and not lose a bunch of anything else. And if we did that, I really do think it would make more power, but we'll see. I have no data on this. The wastegate's routed into the hot pipe. It's not just blowing the atmosphere, so it's learning for all of us. If you guys are interested in building a higher horsepower truck, this kind of applies to all of them. Basically what I will be doing. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna wait for Brett to get here and then make some runs. Alright guys, figured I would talk and work at the same time, so hopefully you can hear me, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. But I haven't talked much because I've been frustrated. I'm ready to throw this wastegate in the pond. And it's not the problem of necessarily how to control it. It's right now, it is still being blown completely shut, and I'm trying to keep it shut. And right now I have 135 psi of CO2 to the top of the gate to keep it shut. So keep that in mind. I'm not wanting it to open because I'm just simply trying to back up and duplicate what I did my last dyno session, and it has lost all the bottom end like it's a dog now. I'm thinking it's because of the standpipe for the gate that's welded into the manifold. We made this a gated manifold. It is not a gated manifold directly from Steed. Granted, we do have all the pieces to make it one. They send those to us. We welded a divider into it. Like it looks correct, like it looks right. So that's why I'm a little bit flustered. And I think the pulses are intermingling. I've got it back. It's north of 7 still. I've got some torque back. I had to push my start speed back from 45 mile an hour to 49. So that's kind of a bummer, because I know that means on the street it's going to be dog ear down low. I'm going to have to figure it out and fix it. For the dyno day right now it's fine. It's still making a lot of power. I'm currently messing with the KSB to hopefully get a little bit more bottom end back. It's just kind of a theory testing. I mean, we know it works, but basically just adding a shim and then gonna utilize my KSB button, because right now if I push the button it doesn't do anything. It's already at full sweep by the time I grab it at like 2300 RPM. So this should keep it from getting full sweep as fast. So I should be able to grab the button and it do something. Now, I have bumped timing twice. The first time I did it, it gained all of its torque back. It gained like 100 foot-pounds. And the second time, and it did pick up a little bit of power. It's still lower than what it was last time, but it picked up a little bit of power, and I bumped it again and it gained another 13 foot-pounds, but we lost 4 horsepower and lost a little bit out the back. So we're gonna see what this does, and we might have to pull timing back just a little bit and might end up leaving it there. I'm supposed to race tomorrow, so hopefully this thing still spools up if I'm trying to stage it, but we'll find that out later tomorrow morning. Alright, so I believe I've got one more run left in it for the night, and then I'm going to call it good. Lots of pulls later, still about the same horsepower number, 715, 710, bunch of pulls in that area. You can see this is KSB is off, and you can see whenever I grab the KSB button, looks to be around 2600-ish is where I've been grabbing it. So the button is actually doing something now, but we're lower down here than where we were, but this is still higher than all the other runs, so I can't really complain. I had 135 psi of CO2 going to the top of the gate to keep the gate completely shut. Now I have nothing going to the top of the gate. I'm just going to let it open on spring pressure, which is it's the heaviest spring you can buy for these. I believe it's like a 45 psi spring. On the bench, the gate does not open until 45 psi. On the truck, Levon has found out in the past on the quad cab, it started cracking at 20. So there's heat energy that causes it to crack open. So shop air is not going to be the same as what's going through the engine, because you've got 1300 degrees EGT or more. In my case, it's only like 11 to 12. But so I'm just going to let it open on spring pressure, basically just to see on the log if it drives the big one any harder, because I have the gate routed into the hot pipe. It might not even ever come on. It might just be, it might come all the way up here and make a peak and come back down or something like that. I don't know. But I'm going to do that just for math purposes and seeing what it does. But I will be hooking my reference back up to the intake for total boost. But I am going to run it. Alright guys, so I genuinely don't know whenever I'm gonna release this video, but I learned a ton about wastegates tonight, so I really want to share it like now, because it was just very interesting to see on a turbo setup like this. So if you guys don't know, I have a 362 on the manifold, so just a 62, 68, 14 non-gated, and a 98 mil GT55 out front. So the setup usually works phenomenal, but I have a manifold wastegate, so I put a manifold wastegate on right off the bat. It lost it bad, like it has no down low power, which I'm gonna go drive it on the street and see if it actually doesn't have any down low power now, but because I'll have to fix all of this if that's the case. But basically we figured out that 362, basically the whole thing's just pushing a bunch of hot air. It was making 100 pounds of boost and 140-ish pounds of drive at one point, and all of this is much less than that. So this was the original 715 run, and you can see it dies down out here, and this is what we're doing now. So yeah, but anyway, 715 original run, 723 was with 20 psi, yeah, I think 20 psi of boost to the top of the wastegate, and I didn't hit the KSB until 2600. So 728 is the same 20 psi to the top of the gate, and it's open, and it's just spring pressure besides that. And I grabbed the KSB as soon as the run started, and it made 728, and it made more power everywhere. So that was nice to see, and it made more torque. And the next 728 run was with only 10 psi to the top of the wastegate, and grabbed the KSB right away, did the same thing. It actually made more power out the back besides this little blip right here. I don't know what that's about, but it was making pretty good power at the back. Both of those runs only at 10 psi to the top of the gate, and it was opening on spring pressure. This last one was after it was hot, so yeah, there's that. But at this 728 run with 10 psi to the top of the dome, we are looking at 63 psi of boost total. We went from 100 down to 63 psi, and we're actually making more power. And we're at 70 pounds of drive versus 140, so we've literally dropped drive by double. I think it was at like 125, so not quite double. It was at 140 at one point, but so 125, and now it's at 70. So we're within 7 psi of each other, and the big Charger's still making 27 pounds of boost, and that's exactly what it was making beforehand. So the big Charger's just thumping air, and then this white line right here, that's EGT, so it gets up to 12, 13, 25, and as soon as that big Charger comes in and those lines cross right there, because that's the tan line is the big Charger, watch EGT just plummet. Gets down to 1180. There's one run that got down to like 1080. It's ridiculous, but it's just really cool to see. Basically, the 362, well, just the whole compound setup, we were blowing a lot of hot air. So we lowered all of our pressures, and it did something fairly neat. But pretty happy with it. So with only 63 pounds of boost instead of 100, whenever I spray it, there's much less of a chance of stuff breaking at that point, because it would have made 150 plus pounds of boost the way it was. So the wastegate will definitely help. I am shocked to see that we picked something up on fuel with the wastegate. As far as just this curve, I'm worried about down here, but I'm gonna go drive it on the street to find out how much we lost. But it is late, it's past midnight, so I'm gonna get home. Again, I don't know when this video is gonna come out due to these numbers, and our dyno event is next weekend. So I'll probably keep this until after that, but this is very good information. If you guys are trying to do the same thing, you might be better off just putting a bigger manifold charger on it, but wastegate's a good choice. We'll see. It depends all on your manifold and where you're venting it and all that good stuff. So